Hello and welcome. This is my podcast, my solo podcast called Tarot Talk Therapy, where I every week will be checking in with myself in spirit to see where I am in life in different aspects of my life. And we will also be pulling a few cards for the collective. I apologize that it's hard for me to kind of look at the lens itself. I'm going to practice on doing that. But we're going to be getting started very, very soon. The first step is to separate all of the cards by their suits, because as I said, I will be looking at where I am in each aspect, depending upon the suits as well as the major arcana. So I will be separating these, and as I do, I would like to state that this episode is sponsored by me. I am the owner of Habitual Rituals LLC, and my company is all about providing accessible information and products for those that may have any sort of mental illnesses or mental challenges, in order to assist them with spiritual work. So I not only am a tarot reader, but I have also created products, guided journals to assist with different aspects of shadow work. And I can show them to you. Bear with me one moment. Let me see. Sorry about that. So the very first journal in the series, and mind you, even though it is a series, all of the journals can be completed in whatever order you decide. The first journal is 30 days. Gotta do the beauty guru hold. First journal is 30 days of talking to my shadow. It is a general shadow work journal, and it covers 4 different themes: fear, trust, love, and pain. The second iteration is the 30 days of talking to my inner child. Hopefully it's flipped once I have the video processed. But 30 days of talking to my inner child, all about you getting to know your inner child. It focuses on not only the lighter sides, but also the more difficult aspects of our childhoods. The lighter days are on the odd days in the book, and the challenging days are more on the even side. Then we have 30 days of talking to my inner teen. This again is all about you getting to know your inner teen. It goes over things that we loved about being a teenager, things that we hated about being a teenager, and sorry, it's getting all blurry, and other things, just other things related to being a teenager. And then there is 30 days of talking to my money. This is a money mindset journal. It's all about you getting to know what your money mindset is. It goes over things like who your money role models were, who your poor financial role models were, some of the desires or goals that you have financially, and things of that nature. And then finally, I have 30 days of talking to my lost loved one. This is a grief and loss journal. It's all about you being able to spend time to reminisce and reflect on the life that you had with someone that has passed away. So all of my journals are currently still available on Amazon, though honestly, I might be taking them down from there just because it's been a little bit difficult to ensure the quality of them. I have had some issues with printing issues with like the lines not being straight across. It's very minorly shifted, but still it's not perfect. So I may be taking them down from Amazon and moving on to Ingram Spark when it comes to printing them. But they are currently available also on my website where you can get signed copies, and they are also available on TikTok Shop as well. My website is attention, the number 2, intention.com, and my TikTok is also attention to intention as well. But yes, this is sponsored by me. And also, I am offering tarot readings for 50% off when you use the code hookup, HOOKUP, on any service that is on my site. And you can receive an in-depth personal tarot reading. So if you are interested at all, I will definitely be leaving links down below in the description box. Whether you are watching this on YouTube or if you are simply listening on a podcast platform, I will be sure to provide the information needed. But thank you guys already for even just being here, for taking the time to spend time with me as I do my tarot therapy, because I am someone that needs a lot of it. I have my own mental health diagnoses. I am diagnosed with bipolar type 1 with anxious features. I am also diagnosed with ADHD. I am diagnosed, or I was diagnosed with cannabis dependency, but I have become sober. I have been sober now for the last 22 days. And I'm very proud of myself for that. So I cured myself of cannabis dependency, if you could say that. And I was also actually diagnosed with CPTSD, though at the time of the diagnosis, CPTSD did not exist. And so the official diagnosis on my papers is other specified trauma disorder. But even though I have all of these mental illnesses or mental diagnoses, I have been doing my part in terms of managing them and to improve the quality of my life. And I'm hoping that through my work, through my products and through my services, as well as my podcasts, that I'm able to share different ways in which I have improved my quality of life in order to help others that may be struggling with the same thing. So again, I thank you for taking the time to stick around, and I do hope that whatever it is that I'm able to share, that it resonates with you and that it is helpful for you. So we are almost done separating. Cups, perfect. All right, so how this will be essentially set up is I will be pulling, like I said, from each suit as well as the major arcana. So the major arcana cards will represent essentially the major theme that I'm in my life currently. Then we will be doing the staff suits, which will talk about where I am in terms of my energy, my passions, as well as spiritual intervention. With the coins, we'll be looking at where I am in terms of my physical resources, my finances. With the swords, we'll see where I am mentally and in terms of any obstacles or challenges that may be arising. And then finally, with the cups, we'll be looking at where I am emotionally or where I am in terms of my relationships. So I do actually want to roll the dice as well with my method of reading tarot. I include 12-sided dice and a 10-sided die. The 10-sided die determines the intuit digit, which is the numerological theme in terms of energy for my reading. And then I also have the personal and universal chakras as well for the 12-sided die. So let's just go ahead and start getting this reading done. I'm very interested to see what comes up. So let's see. It's been a very long time since I've done this. I have had Tarot Talk Therapy as a podcast before, but I was actually manic at that time. And so the quality and what would be said can be a bit jarring. And so I needed to start over. So if you happen to find that old podcast, it will definitely be like a time capsule of where I was in terms of that time in my life. But as I said, I am at baseline now. I am no longer manic or massively depressed. And so it's good to be back. It's good to be back in this headspace and not that one. So let's go ahead and get started. What is the Intuit digit? We have the number 2. So it's 20 on the dice, but it'll represent the number 2. So the number 2 deals with balance. It deals with diplomacy. It deals with relationships, but in like a partnership type of deal. Things again being balanced, having things be reciprocal and mutual. I would say that with this coming up for me, I am learning how to essentially be a part of a community or even just build a community. It has been a struggle for me to feel like I'm a part of something. Lately in my life, I have been very lonely because of the state of my relationships, in particular, a romantic one that had to end with my children's father. But at the same time, 2 represents peace. And I have been experiencing a lot of peace lately since leaving that relationship. So things are improving. Things are improving. Let me try to look at the camera instead of at myself. But things are improving, at least on my front, emotionally, definitely. So let's go ahead and we're going to find out what personal chakra, so the chakra energy center that is within my auric field. Look at the camera, Shani. Within my auric field that is related to me or that needs some attention at this time. Let's find out. Okay, 1, which is the root chakra. So the root chakra is the center that is in need of attention. I consider this definitely resonates with me because I have been feeling at times, especially when it comes to my business, I've been feeling a bit scared and unsafe when it comes to promoting myself, my services, and my products. I in my elementary school years, up all the way through middle school, I was bullied a lot. And it was difficult. It definitely caused an impact, which is actually part of the reason why I am diagnosed with CPTSD. And what's crazy about that is when I went to this outpatient program, I was speaking to the like nurse practitioner who handled essentially like the assignment of someone's placement in the outpatient program. And I was explaining to her that I have experienced trauma and that I have PTSD because, of course, that was the only trauma disorder that I was aware of at the time. And she asked me if I was having nightmares. And when I told her no, that I wasn't having nightmares about being bullied, she said, then you don't have PTSD. And I explained to her that even though I don't have nightmares, I have anxieties, I have thoughts, intrusive thoughts in my mind, I have behaviors that I engage in, all because of the bullying that I experience on a consistent basis. And not only from peers at school or people at school, also even from people within my own family. So at that time, people didn't understand the effects of the constant chronic, I guess I would say, like, I don't want to call it minute trauma, but it's not, of course, like big trauma, if that makes sense. You know, it's not physical harm or any sort of massive event that occurred. It was a happening, like a chipping away, you know, every single day, having to sit in a class with people that talked about you behind their back and whispered about you behind your back simply because you were taller than them, simply because you happened to be smarter than them in an honors class, like things of that nature. And they definitely carried on. Like, it was literally 8 years of my life on a consistent basis every single day. Aside from, well, no, not even getting a break necessarily from summertime, because again, people in my family were being mean. So I haven't felt safe for a very long time. I'm feeling safer now. I will definitely say that. I'm feeling safer now. And even at times where it doesn't feel safe, I know that it is a fear. It is false evidence appearing real, right? Because there's no actual threat of danger when it comes to putting myself out there. No one's going to beat me up for posting a podcast episode, you know? So I've had to really accept that and truly feel ready to just be myself again and to be myself out loud. So yeah, the root chakra coming up is definitely resonating with me. Next, let's go ahead and get the universal chakra. So this is the energy center that the universe is pulling from and how it is interacting with me and the types of circumstances or situations that it is trying to essentially like teach me of. So let's see. Okay. We have the second chakra, the sacral chakra. So the universe, sorry, confirmation burp. The universe is operating from a space of trying to again work in some sort of partnership. The sacral chakra is all about our feeling center. It's where our emotions are stored. And also the sacral chakra deals with sensuality and creativity as well. So essentially it's almost like the universe is trying to like shift me up a level. So while I am, you know, working on my safety, my feelings of security, the universe is presenting me with more opportunities to feel more, to be creative more, to express myself more. And I definitely feel like that is accurate as well. So if you are also in a similar space, definitely let me know in the comments, because it is reassuring to know that I'm not alone in this, you know? So now let's go ahead and get started with the cards. So we are going to pull from the major arcana first. We're going to find out what major theme am I in currently. And I do hope that, you know, with me like speaking for myself, I hope that it's not like isolating for you guys, because I do believe that, you know, I am a part of a collective. I've seen so many people across, you know, my social medias and everything where it's like I am experiencing the exact same thing. Like, we are living the same life. There will be people that I see on well, even with like pick a cards and stuff, you know, like there are thousands of people that will watch a pick a card, and let's say there are hundreds that choose the same deck as me, and it's like, wow, how are we all going through this exact same thing? And of course, you know, part of it is because we all are one in the universe, but at the same time, it's crazy because, of course, life is different for everyone, and yet still the themes remain similar. The lessons are the same. And that is always just eye-opening for me. So I do hope that whoever may be listening to this, like I said, if you are also in this type of situation, just know that we are in it together. Okay? So we have the Chariot in reverse. I feel like this is definitely, this resonates with me. One, because the Chariot is a card that represents like super fast progress, being able to like charge ahead, and just move with a sense of drive, with a sense of purpose, moving toward your, or moving along your path of purpose. With this coming up in the reverse for me, this is saying that the movement is a bit, it's a bit slower. The movement in progress is a bit less extreme. And I feel like this definitely makes sense. Like, I have been taking small steps. And the thing is that honestly, I'm I'm one of those people, and this might also be a part of the CPTSD, or it could just be limiting beliefs, or subconscious thoughts that like cause this to happen or cause me to feel this way. But a lot of times I will feel like I should be an overnight sensation. If that makes sense. There are times where like I will see someone else's content blow up, especially like on TikTok, right? I will see somebody else get a whole bunch of engagement regarding like the things that they put out and the services and products that they promote and things like that. And I feel like because I'm me and because I put out what I feel is, truly impactful, and I know that I have a good spirit of me and that I'm always doing things to actually help the world. It feels like when I post something and like I'm promoting a journal, I feel like emotionally I should get 1,500 saves on it, and 3,000 likes on it, and all of these comments and all this engagement of people like feeling like, wow, I've always needed this, or wow, I've never seen something like this, or whatever the case is. I didn't know I needed this. And of course, a lot of times that does not happen. A lot of times my type of engagement ends up being a bit slower. I am still very much in the 200 views jail. There are some things that will get past, the 200, but even still the engagement doesn't really reflect in a positive way. So I have felt very like start and stop. And the thing is that I've had to learn and like literally just like accept like when it comes to starting a business, no one truly becomes an overnight sensation. I feel like there's a saying that says like it takes such and such amount of years to become an overnight sensation, or however long to become an overnight sensation. And that's very true. I know that what I can control is how much I promote my stuff. What I can control is, how I show up and the work that I do, and remaining committed to the work that I do. And I have to know that, just as the saying goes, if I build it, they will come. But if if I keep building, but I only have like 3 bricks at a time and I'm not seeing people show up, that shouldn't make me stop putting bricks down. That's what I have had to learn lately. So this Chariot in reverse is saying to me that I have been allowing the like disappointments to stop my progress altogether, which has been, it's been a hindrance to me. Yeah. That's where I am. That's definitely where I am. So next, let's go ahead. We're going to pull from the staffs. Let's see where I am in terms of oh, it's a little bit hard to shuffle the minor cards since it's only like 13 per suit. But let's see, because normally when I'm able to like split it and actually shuffle, of course, like some of the cards, just like with the Chariot, they will rearrange their orientation, like some will become reversed and such, which for me is the most accurate method of shuffling. So let's go ahead and see. Okay. For the wand suit, we have the Page of Staffs in reverse. So the Page of Staffs is all about having a sense of like bright-eyed, bushy-tailedness, having a sense of like true excitement when it comes to starting my passions, when it comes to like engaging with my passions. The thing though, also, and this I kind of spoke on, the page is one of the most immature energies in the court cards. So essentially it's about like um having a sense of like naivety or naivete, however you pronounce it, being a bit inexperienced, being immature. And so I definitely feel like this relates to me because just as I was saying, I've been allowing myself to like lose my spark and to lose my drive to engage with my passions, to do the things that I actually really love to do. Yeah. This is just very clear, and already we're almost at 30 minutes, so I'm gonna try to like get through these almost as quickly as I can, because I'm definitely somebody that can over explain something. I can be quite the yapper when I'm comfortable or when I'm alone, but yeah. I feel like I don't need to keep explaining the Page of Staffs in reverse because I spoke about it a lot with the Chariot in reverse. Now let's go ahead. We're going to get the coin suit. So where am I in terms of my resources and my finances? Please let this be a good thing so that I can see some sort of improvement coming. But if this is going to be about where I am at this exact moment, I have a feeling. All right, let's see. All right, okay. Nine of Coins in reverse. So the Nine of Coins is about having like this self-sufficiency. It's about being taken care of independently. With this coming up in the reverse, this is saying to me that I've been feeling a bit of lack when it comes to my personal finances, when it comes to my personal security. I have been feeling a lot of lack. I work part-time remotely from home, but that income, it definitely allows me to pay my bills, but it's not enough to thrive. I will say that. It's not enough to thrive. I definitely still engage in some overdrafts with Ally, just because I know they got me with that extra $100 to overdraft with. And the direct deposit's coming every week. So yeah, I need to get out of that though. I need to get out of that. I need to I need to actually earn an income that is sustainable and that makes me feel actually secure. Like even though my bills are paid, the stress that I have every month, like the calculations I have to do to ensure that the rent will be paid, yeah, that's where I am. And I don't want to continue to be here, or in this state. Not sorry. I don't want to keep being in this state of like self lack when it comes to my finances. And so I've even had trouble when it comes to like being able to find another job to supplement my income. But to be honest, I've kept saying that with the free time that I've had, I'm going to dive into my business. I'm going to do the things again that I've always wanted to do. And I think that it's definitely a telling sign that I haven't been able to secure any sort of other job, because I've told myself that this was what I was going to do. And again, because of this immature energy and the holdups, I felt so discouraged about it. And again, I need to commit. I need to commit. I've needed to commit, and now I am committing. Now I am committing because I have the time and the opportunity. So there's no excuse anymore, honestly. There's no excuse. So now let's see where I am in terms of my mentality and any sort of conflicts or obstacles with the sword suit. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and see what comes up. If it's the Three of Swords, I called it, and you were here to see me call it. But let's see. Okay. Oh, also, just a moment for our other sponsor, which is still me. If you are interested, so close. It's the Four of Swords. But what's it called? If you are interested in learning how to read tarot yourself, I am hosting an intuitive tarot reading class. It will be a live course held over Zoom. It will be starting on October the 14th, 2024, and it will be 5 weeks going on to November 11th. So each week it will be held on a Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and it only costs $33 to register for the class. So if you are interested in learning how to read tarot intuitively and to create your own method of reading tarot, please join me for class. It would be an absolute pleasure to have you there, and I look forward to seeing you if you join. So now with the Four of Swords in reverse. The Four of Swords is a card of like rest and preparation. With this card coming up in the reverse for me, it's saying to me that I'm starting to actually move out of preparation and actually doing. I am definitely someone that can prepare their butt off, okay? I am someone that can do all of the planning and yet ask me how many times I actually do the plan. See, I'm preaching to somebody right now. But with this card coming up, I am exiting this phase of analysis paralysis. I'm exiting this stage of persistent planning and actually moving into production, into productivity. Now, granted, planning is productive, but if you are only planning and not executing, it is no longer productive. So I am moving into my executing phase. Okay, and I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. Thank you, Spirit, for confirming that for me. I'm glad that I have moved past the Three of Swords, which is a card of like heartache and feeling emotionally or mentally defeated. And I am now exiting my rest state. Hallelujah. And now, finally, let's see where I am in terms of my emotions and in terms of my relationships. Now, I will say again, I am a single mom, but I am someone I have a Cancer rising, okay? I love love. I'm a lover girl, okay? So I am manifesting my soulmate, but it is definitely not something that I'm necessarily ready for yet, but I'm open, you know? So let's see where I am in terms of my emotions and relationships. Okay. We have the Seven of Cups, and it's upright, our first upright card. Woo! So the Seven of Cups is all about having options. It's all about being able to almost like see where you want to place your emotional energy. Look at the camera. It's all about, again, like having choices, being able to decide where you want to go, who you want to spend your time with, what you want to, excuse me, emotionally invest in. Confirmation burp. Excuse me, double confirmation burp. And this makes sense to me. I'm happy that this is in the right side up, because I have been seeing the opportunities and the different options that I have and the freedom of choice that I have. And the thing is that for a very long time, I felt like I didn't really have a choice. For a very long time, I had felt like I had to just take what was given. And it wasn't until recently, that I realized that I can say no to things. I can refuse things. I can deny things that don't feel good to me. So this Seven of Cups for me is saying that I am actually utilizing my choices. I am taking account of all of the options in front of me, and I am making my best informed decisions. I love this for me, honestly. This is definitely accurate. I'm so glad that I started this up again, because it's always helpful for me. Honestly, again, I need the therapy. So to have, my deck, to have spirit, to have my Ori, to have my Orisha, be able to just confirm exactly what I've been going through, it's such a blessing. And this is why I encourage people that are interested, at the very least, to learn how to read tarot, because it truly is a great tool to be able to almost like objectively see where you are. Granted, yes, it can be hard sometimes to interpret things for yourself, and that's where my class comes in. But at the end of it, all the time, every single time, it's they don't miss. They don't miss. They don't miss. And I just love it so much. So just for a recap, the major theme is the Chariot in reverse. We've been, or I'm say we now, because I'm sure that some of you that are listening are definitely relating to this, especially if you were called to watch this video. And again, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Welcome to my collective. Welcome to the collective. I love you. So again, we have been having a bit of a stutter, okay, when it comes to our progress. We have been feeling a bit discouraged when it comes to the lack of engagement with our passions and with the work that we have put out and that we do, the energy that we put out. We are coming or still struggling necessarily with our self security in terms of our finances and our resources. But we are coming out of our state of perpetual planning, and we are stepping into the energy of production, of execution. And finally, we have been able to recognize all of the options, all of the choices that we have presented to us. And on top of that, we recognize that we are the decider. We get to choose what we want to do, what we want to emotionally invest in. We get to choose it, and we know what's best for us. We're not going to make a poor decision, because we love ourselves and we recognize what we actually need now. Okay? So, whew, yeah. I thank you. I'm just glad that I showed up. I'm glad that I was able to do this. And there's nothing that's going to keep me from being able to do this every week. I promise you. So now we're going to pull some oracle cards. And in terms of the oracle cards, this is going to be more so focused on the collective. So those of us that are here together in this podcast episode, we're going to be pulling actually from a lot of decks, just because I like to have a well-rounded, encouraging message. So let's get through this pretty quickly. Let's see. We are now at 40 minutes. If you have stuck around this long, thank you so much. You are a real one. Look at the camera. You're a real one. Thank you. So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's find out what lesson our soul is learning right now. What lesson is the souls of our collective learning right now? I'm just going to get one card from each of these oracle decks, because we have 5 oracle decks to pull from. All right. Oops, sorry. I guess I'll take them both just because it did want to show itself. So we have failure and imagination. So with failure, the affirmation says, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. There have been so many times when I felt like I was a failure just because I didn't get the engagement that I wanted on my content. But at the same time, we get to imagine, exactly what we see for ourselves in the future. All of the great things that we see ourselves accomplishing, all of the great things that we see ourselves acquiring. We need to keep that vision in our minds every time we feel like we have failed, every time we feel like something wasn't a success. And the affirmation on the imagination card is, I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. So also, not only with being able to imagine our future and where we want to go, we also need to be able to use our imagination to creatively problem solve. If we feel like we have failed at something, there is still a lesson, just as this says, the affirmation says, to learn from it. So a lot of times it might be a little bit difficult to see how exactly to improve upon a situation, or to learn from a particular failure, but that's where our imagination comes in. That's where our creativity comes in. We have to be able to almost think outside the box and not limit ourselves to only the things that we have seen physically, or only the things that we have seen other people do. We need to be able to again, utilize our imagination to see beyond that, to think beyond what has existed thus far. All right, next we're going to get an angel guide card. What message from the angels does the collective need at this time? Ugh, that was ugly. Jeez, that's ugly. There we go. All right. I'm going to shuffle just one last time. Let me get a sexy shuffle, please. Let me get a sexy shuffle, angels. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. Not the sexiest, but still better than the first one. All right, let's see. Angel message. Strength and guidance. Strength and guidance. So we are learning how to take the guidance that we are receiving, and we are also learning how to remain strong when we don't know where we are being guided to. Amen. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. We are learning how to receive the strength of our spirit team, our angels, of our spirit guides, and to have a sense of trust and be strong in our trust and in our faith as well. Look at the camera. Yeah, I feel like this is a good message from the angels right now for our collective. Again, I do hope that these messages are resonating with you. If they are, definitely tell me in the comments. I appreciate you. And if you think that somebody else would resonate with this, a friend, a family member, a loved one, share this with them too. I would appreciate it. All right, let's get a message from the moon. At the time that I am recording this, we had our solar eclipse with the new moon. So let's see what moon message does the collective need at this time. This one is one of my this one is one of my favorite oracle decks because the messages are just extremely clear. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. All right, we have be bold and make the first move, cardinal moon. Okay? Be bold and make the first move. I don't need to say anything about that because this is what this whole thing was about. This is how we're going to flip this chariot energy by committing, by executing, all of that, just like I've been saying. Next, let's go ahead and get a Cosmic Journey oracle card. Now, these messages, sometimes they're a little bit vague, or I won't say vague, but sometimes they're so out there that I don't necessarily know how to interpret it just based off of the visual or the words on them. Ooh, did you hear that? Oh my gosh. That was... But depending on what card comes out, we might read from the book just to receive the clear message. Also, I'm loving that all of our oracle cards are coming out right side up, okay? With all these reversals that we had earlier. Come on. All right. Find your star family in this cosmic game of hide and seek. I feel like this is what I'm doing by putting out this podcast, by doing the work and promoting my services and my products. I am able to find people like you that resonate with with these messages, that resonate with this energy, and we're a part of a soul family together. So hi. Yeah, and the thing is that by doing our passions, by doing the things that we actually want and feel called to do, that is in fact what draws us together with our soul family, with our community. That's the only way, especially with this age of the internet, that's the only way that you can actually find the people that ought to be a part of your life, that needed to be a part of your life, by putting yourself out there. So that also means sometimes you got to go outside. Sometimes you can't find all of your soul family members by scrolling. Sometimes you got to get out the house. You got to go to events that you like. You got to do things alone by yourself sometimes. But trust and believe you will find the people that you need to find, okay? Just like you found me. And I found you. All right, final oracle card. Final oracle card for the collective. This is the Sacred Creators Oracle. What message do we need from the Sacred Creator? Let's see. This is our last opportunity to get a clean sweep of right side up cards. Let's see. Oh, right side up, baby. And the card that we got is Overthinking Can Spoil the Magic. Overthinking can spoil the magic. If that's not a great way to end off these oracle messages, I don't know what is. We need to learn to focus on, again, what we can control, and to focus on what actually lights us up. Me doing this, I want to cry now. Like, I feel so good being able to do this. And I feel so good to put this out because I know that somebody else is going to hear these messages. I'm going to cry. I know that somebody else is going to hear this and they're going to feel so affirmed. They're going to feel so seen. They're going to feel so normal because what they're going through is not something out of the ordinary. It's not something that, is, when we focus on what we can control, when we focus on the things that we can actually change, our life changes. The magic shows itself. The magic becomes tangible because we remove our desire and our attempts to change things that are beyond our control, to ponder upon things that we will never know. So by focusing our mind, our thoughts, our intentions on ourselves and what we feel called to, the more the magic will show up in our lives. So this is the reading. This is the first episode. I'm gonna cry. This is the first episode of Tarot Talk Therapy, the Revamp. And I'm so, so grateful that you were here. And I'm so, so grateful that I did this. So I encourage you to do the thing that you've been putting off. I encourage you to do the thing that makes you scared. I encourage you to do the things that you love. Yeah. Because it's so, so worth it. It's so worth it. So thank you again. I hope to see you in the comments. I hope that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, that you subscribe on the podcast platform that you're listening on. Thank you so, so much. And I will be back next week. Peace.